Unfortunately, we've put more than boats into the Great Lakes. We've also added trash that often goes unseen, hidden beneath the water's surface. But a few individuals have taken it upon themselves to do something about that invisible litter and rid our waterways of garbage one piece at a time.
When you go fishing, you can fish from a boat, drop a pole off the shoreline, or you can just toss in a big magnet. Jason Vanderwall is known as the Motor City Magnet Fisher, with more than 100,000 followers on TikTok. Jason, who manages a towing and repair business, has been fishing since he was a kid, but he only got hooked on magnet fishing recently.
Last year, my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said, I want a magnet. I went online, I picked one out, and started 2 days after my birthday.
Jason says magnet fishing is growing in popularity and has become a worldwide passion for some, thanks to the internet. And now, Jason is teaching kids in the Detroit area how to magnet fish with a series of classes.
So when you're bringing it back, you want to kind of dip it up and down. Just, yeah, just like that, but bring it in a little bit each time.
I can feel it like scratching.
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
The class is an e-course on the banks of the Detroit River, which has been used for fishing, shipping, and recreation for centuries.
Tell us what we're up to here today. This is pretty awesome.
This is an initiative that my wife dreamt up called Get the Motor City Magnet Fishing. Since we're so avid about magnet fishing, we enjoy it, we like cleaning the waterways, we decided to try to extend it to the children in the area. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is these fishermen down here. You see their fishing lines running right into the water? Make sure that you're not throwing over top of their fishing lines. So this is an event where we're able to give a magnet kit to children between 5 and 15 so that they can learn how to help clean the waterways, learn what's in the water, and just to get them up and out of the house. They've been in the house for the last year, cooped up, they gotta be ready to do something.
It got stuck on something really heavy and it was hard to pull in. And then I saw like a big long metal pole in the water and pulled it up.
So outside of some of the treasure that you find, the fun stuff, what are some of the other things you find in the river that you're pulling out?
Lots and lots and lots of fishing line, lots of fishing hooks, sinkers, car parts. I find spark plugs, catfish bells, knives, guns, pretty much anything anybody wants to get rid of or accidentally drops into the river, we find.
That includes large chunks of iron ore and steel slag that Jason believes was dumped back in the 1800s. Along with all the metal, the magnet fishers also snag on to a lot of junk that is not magnetic, but still dangerous to animals and humans.
There's places I pulled in 60, 70 pounds in one day of just lead sinkers and fishing line, which is my number one goal to get out of the water is all of that, because that's a big hazard for the wildlife, as well as anybody who may accidentally fall in the river, or the Detroit Police dive team. They worry about it a lot too.
Get tangled up and stuff.
Yeah.
While the metal itself may not be harming the water, Jennifer Caddick with the Alliance for the Great Lakes says it's important to remove it.
I could imagine big pieces of metal or even small pieces of metal, right, are going to smother like the underwater grasses and other sort of natural bottom areas that fish and other little species use to find food, right?
And, along with the fishing tackle and run-of-the-mill metal trash, every so often, somebody catches a gun.
It looks like about a 38 would be my guess. It's a Rossi.
Yeah, I saw Rossi.
Rossi is probably the brand. Rossi could have just been the manufacturer of the grips.
Where would the numbers be?
Serial number would probably be over here.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
I got my wish.
That one.
I wanted to pull something I don't pull out in the country.
Yep, we're gonna have to call the police on that.
Sequence, police, Lieutenant Howard.
Hey, Lieutenant Howard, this is Jason Vanderwall. I'm down at John Dingle Park. We're magnet fishing, and we pulled in a handgun that we'd like to turn in. I've talked to him 2 or 3 times turning in guns.
So this happens fairly often? You find something like a gun?
I've turned in 2 out of here. Tanner's gotten 2. And then another gentleman I know has gotten 2 or 3.
After observing all the fun these magnet fishers were having, I was itching to try it myself.
Hey Ward, if you're gonna try this, you're gonna need some gloves.
Awesome.
So, do you lift? You're a tough guy?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I got the magnet for you.
All right,
let's go try this one out.
Let's see the big one.
So it looks clear, so you can heave-ho that thing as far as you
So
can.
I just go
Just
back and forward as if I was just throwing a magnet on a
pretty
swing?
much,
All right.
exactly.
Whoa,
Right.
that one
Oh
got out
yeah,
there.
well, it's going to keep going down to the
All
bottom.
right, let it go.
Now you can pull it in. This one you don't have to dip. This one is actually made for dragging across the bottom. The other ones are made for dipping up and down.
So I got to jig the
This
other
one
ones.
is made for being pulled right straight towards you. So you can just pull it slowly towards you. All right. What'd you get?
What do we have here?
All right. So let me grab a bucket to put that in.
This isn't quite the treasure I was looking for, but we'll have to do it again. I have no idea what we just found.
There's no telling what some of this junk is or how long it's been in the river. But the same can't be said for everything Jason finds.
You know, people treated the river differently 100 years ago, and they're dumping stuff in. But now it's like we should know better.
Yeah, but 99% of what we're pulling out has been thrown in the last 10, 15
Yeah,
years. It's not,
exactly.
I find pliers, those don't bother me. I know that those were an accident. But the beer bottle caps, the batteries, the just wads of fishing line that they've just thrown in the water instead of walking 10 feet to the trash can to throw it away. You know, that's the stuff that irritates me and really bothers me, and the stuff that I really want to get out of there.
I was really surprised when I pulled up seeing how many kids were down here doing this. It was really awesome.
I'm very happy about this. This makes me want to do it again next year.
More than 200 miles east of Detroit in Lake Ontario, at the bottom of Humber Bay in Toronto, trash can be seen everywhere. Just like Jason, the magnet fisherman, a local scuba diver decided to do something about all that garbage.
And as we were going through, we noticed this very, very large field of garbage that was never there before.
Meet 16-year-old Mark Turetsky, who's been diving since age 10.
There was a lot of very specific items that were clearly coming from people on the shore who were maybe not cleaning up after themselves and letting stuff get blown into the water.
Turetsky and his dad decided to videotape it all and post it online. They wanted to show what Humber Bay looked like before, and then after, when they found pieces of trash scattered all over the lake bed.
I got a journalist from Blog Toronto. She was very interested in the story and kind of kicked this whole thing off. And it led to a lot of other news agencies like CTV News, Global News, CBC.
As we were swimming out, we noticed that there are these huge fields of garbage.
My intention was that, maybe even a small percentage of people would look after where they throw their stuff. And when it gets blown into the water, it's almost as if, it's gone, whatever. I don't have to look at it, it's fine. But my intention was to kind of show that, no, it's not gone, and it's actually amassing here, and it's very bad for the environment.
Jennifer Caddick of the Alliance for the Great Lakes says a recent study conducted by the Rochester Institute of Technology estimated that 22 million pounds of plastic enters the Great Lakes each year.
Plastic never goes away. Eventually it will just break down into smaller and smaller pieces, and obviously that is a problem for wildlife, but those tiny pieces of plastic called microplastics eventually end up in our drinking water.
Caddick says while it's important for people to pick up after themselves, companies also need to step up and develop ways to reduce plastic and the products they make.
I see a role for myself in these underwater cleanup efforts as I think I showed that anyone can get into diving and anyone can get into these underwater cleanups. You don't have to have millions and millions of dollars of funding and professional equipment to clean up the lakes. You can do it yourself, and anyone of any age can really do it.
At Great Lakes Now, we aim to cover the Great Lakes region and the people who live here, like you. Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our newsletter at greatlakesnow.org.